So good evening to all of you. Welcome you to today's webinar. Today we are going to discuss super trend indicator. Now we have already had some webinars on this before, but we are trying to fine tune that is how to use the super trend indicator for trading purposes. So first we will go through what is a super trend indicator, where is it available, and then how we should use it in different time frames. Now, generally, there are a lot of traders who do a trend following system, right? So, the basic trend following indicator that we know is a moving average. So, the basic trend following is the moving average, right? Then, of course, we can use moving average crossovers, all those things, then MACD. So all these things are trend following indicators. On the opposite spectrum is oscillator like RSI, stochastics. These are all generally, is considered to be counter trend indicators. Now, one more trend indicator for those who want to follow a trend is the super trend indicator. As any trend following indicators have their advantages, super trend has its own advantage. Super trend has its disadvantage also. So you must understand how to filter out the disadvantage while trading. Another important feature of the super trend indicator is it gives clear support resistance points in various time frames, whether you take it in a monthly, whether you take it in a weekly, whether you take it in a daily or even hourly basis. So this super trend indicator is based on what? There must be some parameter on which you work, right? So this is based on volatility. So super trend indicator is, as we abbreviate, is called as ST. This is based on volatility of the market. Now how do you measure the volatility? Okay. Now the basic the information that is available for us from the volatility is normally through an option route, and in NSE they publish what is called as VIX. Okay, there is a volatility index compiled from option premiums of in the money, out of the money, call and puts. So it gives a composite volatility. Because at the money volatility can be different, in the money can be different, out of the money can be different. So this has a calculation of the various option premiums of different strikes and gives what is called the VIX. So this is one parameter, that is volatility, is measured through VIX. Now how do we understand volatility? Volatility in a normal sense is the up and down movement, right? So one day it moves up, one day it moves down. So one day, let us say Nifty moves by 100 points, next day it falls by 200 points. Okay. So sorry for the disturbance, there was some technical issue. Now what we have done is, in this chart we have overlaid a super trend on the daily chart. And here what we have done is, in the super trend, the parameter is for 10 days, we have taken 3 times. That is, normally, if the prices are much below the super trend, that is 10 and 3, that is the parameter, that is 3 times the average volatility. Generally, it will market, you can guess that it will be very difficult, it could get either bullish or bearish. Now, for example, now let's say this particular this one, that is, see this rally which took place above 17,680 or 17,700. So when there was a close which is above 17,500 levels also, on this particular day you can see the super trend is 17,500. So once it started to go above 17,500, you know very clearly that the bottom which was formed below the super trend is going to be a very, very important bottom. So we are very confident that this particular position, that is the 16,410 will hold. 16,410 will hold. Okay. and once it started to fall again below the super trend, okay, then in that case you also knew that probably this could also be a top. This could also be a top. So we need to see no, right now whether if you want to be bearish, yes, you can take a position below this and put in a stop loss above this. If you want another position here, you should look towards probably going long, keeping this. So that means it's a clear thing that either one of this has to break. Okay, one of this has to break. So in that case, what will you do? In that case, what will you do? Okay. Now, one is that either there are different types of strategies. Now, you know the super trend. We have gone to the big chart. The big chart is a daily chart, and in the daily chart, we have done a 10-3 super trend. Now, this has a very clear thing that if it falls below, then this becomes a top. If it rallies above this, this becomes a bottom. So, very clear that either you can be futures long or options long, whatever it is, keeping this as a stop loss. Okay, no harm in that. Similarly, you can also say that I will be short below this, keeping this I as a stop loss. No harm. So both sides are very clear. Okay. So which one you want to take will be left to you. Okay, which trend you want to follow. Now, since the overall trend is still up, in the sense the market generally is a bullish market. So we can say that probably as long as it does not probably break this low, okay, because this is one low which has come below the super trend. So as long as it does not break below 16,835, because 3 times it has come, you can say that you are still going to be long, keeping 16,835 or around 800 as a stop loss. So the strategy will be very clear that the super trend indicator has given you a clear thing that you can be either bearish or bullish, but stop losses are very clear. 16,400 or 16,835. On the upside, we have got that 18,250 or 300 levels. So now, 18,300 or so, right? 18,300, 350 levels. So whatever strategy that you want to put, you should keep you should keep that in mind, and these three important levels, 18,350, then you have got a 16,850, and then 16,400 levels. Keeping these 3 important points, you can devise a strategy, and super trend is one indicator which gives this. Now what will happen is, I told you that the super trend gives you a very clear resistance and support areas, right? So here if it rallies now, you will have definitely this 10-3 super trend will resist, which means closer to the 17,850, 860, there will be a resistance. Only if it crosses 17,850 or 860, then this area will become a very important level of support. So then in that case, any dip can be bought, keeping this low as a stop loss. Now, what we have done is, we have done it the daily chart. We have done only on a 10-3. Okay. Now, you can also do the super trend indicator keeping 2 times the average range, 1 time the average range. All these things are left to the trader. That's why I said trading is something which you can give guidance, but you cannot force that this is the way it has to be adopted. Now, let us look at what happens if I'm putting it 10-2. Okay. Okay. 10-2 super trend. Okay. So this is a 10-2 super trend. If you see, it went up from this place. It went up. Now once it went up, then in that case it came down to this. This one it took support at this junction, right? Then after that, since it has fallen now, it will also have a resistance closer to the 17,570 or 600 level. So ATR2 will now resist at 17,570 or 600 approximately, and this is what happened. What we said is that the ATR3 is going to be at 17,800 or so. So first thing is going to come at 17,570, that is on the 2 ATR. Now it is trading below all ATRs, that is 10.3, 10.2 and 10.1. Now 10.1 we will see in the daily indicator. Where is it? So in the case of 10.1, right now it is still above the 10.1 because today's close is above 10.1. Today's close is above the 10.1 level. So right now, if the market is to rally from here, okay, if the rally is to take place from here, then in that case there is a good chance that we will have a rally going up to the 2 times, which is 17,570 or 600 levels. If it crosses, then the 17,800 becomes the important level of resistance. So based on 2 ATRs and based on 3 ATRs, we have got our resistance levels. Now let us look at the different time frame. Let us look at a weekly chart to get a bigger picture thing. And yes, now we will go to the weekly chart. Okay. Now let's look at the weekly chart. Once it has started to trade, now you can just see once it comes to 17,707. So once it has started to trade below the weekly chart, we have always seen no resistances coming. Resistance support levels keep coming here. So now you can see very clearly the market, if it edges higher, this particular levels will be a resistance, which is a 17,700 or so. And in the 3 times super trend indicator we saw in the daily chart 17,800. So approximately 17,700 to 17,800 will be an important resistance area. Now in the weekly chart, if you look at the 10-2 super trend, so now it is resting at that place. You can just see it is resting at that place. Okay, there is some now if you look at it, this is generally it comes so 16,000. The super trend indicator comes to 16,940. So every week we get a close which is above 16,940 now. So even today, though it went down lower, probably we may have a weekly revival above 16,940. So the moment it dipped below that, there's a chance that we can expect there will be a revival. So 16,940, 950 levels on a weekly close basis has been held very clearly. So unless it has to now on a weekly basis, it has to close below this particular level, right? So now we get a very clear picture that the resistance zone is 17,700 or so. Big support level is 16,840 levels. So one of this level has to be broken, and then probably then we will know to what extent the resistance will come on the weekly chart on the upside, and to what extent the next downside support can come. If this level is broken, 16,840 levels is broken again, then probably because already once it was broken. See, this was 2 times super trend. This was the So this was broken. When this was broken, when it went up, then it broke this. So on a dip, it is getting support here. Now let's look at the 10-3 super trend in a weekly chart. So this is the 10-3 on a weekly chart. Now if you see, once it broke this particular place, you know that the support on a close basis will come at this place, which is the 16,910. Okay, 16,000. That's where the finger is. Okay, so probably this close is a very clear case where it is above the super trend, and the super trend indicator is 16,948 on the day. And if you see the close is definitely 17,003. So 16,947, 948 level is a clear case where the supports are coming. So the 10-3 super indicator is very clearly on a weekly chart is giving a strong support at 16,948 levels or so. So only thing is, if this level is to be going to be broken, then we have to look at alternate. What are the other support levels which are going to come? All those things we need to say, because even in this week, if you look at it, when it went down to 16,410 also, the close came above 17,003. Okay, so we have to see the weekly close in this particular case, and ever since the market started to rally, it has never come below this particular level, 17. So we can expect a very strong weekly support at 16,940, and only a much lower level below that. Then probably we have to look at the monthly chart and all. So let us look at the monthly chart then in that case. So monthly chart, we will look at the 10-2. So if this levels are going to be broken, what is the next support that we can get? So here we get 15,930. So we will have a strong support in case if there is a bigger fall. We will have a very, very strong support which can take it right up to 15,930 levels or so. So 15,930 levels should act as a very, very strong support in case if there is a further fall. So if it breaks 16,840, then it may go to 16,410, then 15,940 to 16,000 can be approximately the very place where probably we can see a very good amount of support coming. So the super trend indicator is giving a very clear places of support, very clear places of resistance. So based on this, what we have seen is this. So the big resistance 17,700, supports on a weekly basis 16,940, on a weekly basis 16,940. If it's going to crack 16,940 on a weekly basis, okay, then in that case we will have movement which will take it right up to, of course, 16,410 was one support level which you have seen as a bottom, spiking bottom, but it may go down to 15,950 to 16,000. So this is where strong support will emerge. So what we should now look at it is the first big figure, that this one. For traders, this particular levels. Then if it falls below this on a weekly basis, around this level will be the place where the investment can definitely take place. Now, whatever that we have said right now, if you want to do it on a let us say you want to look at a shorter time frame. Let's look at the hourly and 15 minutes. There also we can use the super trend in a very productive manner. So today we will just highlight that, because we will carry forward the illustration again on Friday. Now we'll look at the smaller time frame. We will look at the hourly chart. See, let us look at today. This is what we is 10-2. Now 10-2, it went up to 10-2, right? So it had a resistance. Now we'll look at the 10-3. Where does the 10-3 come? So 10-3 is coming closer to 17,250. I told you that probably it has to clear 17,300. Okay, so it may not go. It can go up to 17,300 or 17,250 levels. So unless it clears the 17,250 to 300 levels, probably we are still not very confident of the revival in the daily chart. Now what has to happen right now? So this is the I told you this is the super trend 2 took sub resistance here. Now super trend 1 on an hourly chart. Now that, see, when it went up first up to this level, which is 17,023, because you look at the hourly chart on this at this point of time. In hourly chart, you get a 92 points. 92 points is the hourly ATR nowadays. So once this average of this, that is the 16,977 and 16,843 plus 16,843 divided by 2. That was 16,910, and 16,910 plus 90 approximately is 17,000 levels. Okay, 17,022, 23. So it went up to that particular place, and then in that case it started to drop. So once we knew that there will be a first resistance in that, then once it starts to cross that particular level, then in that case we are now sure that probably it can rally to twice the ATR. So then in that case it came closer to this place, 17,148. So we can clearly mark these places. So tomorrow if it is going to cross 17,148 for some reason, then probably we need to be clear that no, the resistance can come closer to 17,250 to 300, where we can make an exit and look even going for some short positions there. Now, if it is going to crack below this particular level, we can go short. Suppose if it is going to, on an hourly basis, on a close, if it is going to be below 16,985 on a close basis in the hour, then in that case, no, we should look towards going short. We should look towards going short. Okay. So this is how generally, you can look towards planning. And let's look even in this hourly chart. See all these things. No, there was the moment it started to rally, it was a resistance. It started to rally from this. The 10-1 super trend was resisting. So once it broke this 10-1 super trend on a clear hourly basis, then in that case we had to move towards a 10-2 super trend. Let's say 10-2. We should have given us some place to mark, right? So it broke the 10-2 also. So then in that case we need to look at the 10-3. So up to 10-3 we need to be clear about it. So 10-3 was here. So it didn't break the 10-3. So it just went slightly above 10-2 and started to drop. So the 10-3 super trend is a very clear indication, because that is almost coming to 1 day ATR. So let's look at this 10-year. It's coming to 92. So 92 into 3 is around 270, 280 points. So on an hourly basis also you can calculate and put 270, 280 rupees minimum. This one, or on a daily basis we have to put. Now in this hour also, this hour it gave us 16,843 plus 16,977, so approximately 16,910. So 16,910 plus approximately this is 300 points. This is 110. So 110 is around 330 points. So it comes to 17,250. So on hourly basis it comes 17,250. On this one, that is daily basis, it's coming closer to 17,280 or 300. So we need a very clear close which is above the 17,250 280 levels for us to say that probably the rally can take place henceforth. Okay, but more or less, if it is to fall, then on an hourly basis, if it is going to come below 16,985, because right now we are this is now the two times super trend has resisted here, 3 times super trend is here, but it is now above the 1 time 2 super trend. So if it is going to fall below that also, then in that case we can go clearly short. So the short position tomorrow on an hourly basis will come like this, that is below 16,985. If the first hour closes below 16,985, then it becomes as hit, sell hit, with 17,145 as a stop loss. 17,145 as a stop loss. Okay. So then in that case it will start going down back to 16,840 levels. 16,840 levels. So you can use your calculation like this. Now if you want to do it in a shorter time frame, let us say we want to do it in a 15 minutes time frame also. So 15 minutes, the 180R comes closer to the 43, 49, 50, 54, 55 rupees level. So generally, on a 15 minutes, then the 3 times ATR should come closer to the 170 points or so. And now we are at this one. So say this is the place. It just crossed the 17,065. So now this means in a 15-minute chart, if it is going to close below the 16,940, 950 levels, you can follow one of that, either hourly or 15 minutes. So in hourly, if it is below 16,985 itself, you are going to be on the shorter side. So now, it went up to this particular place and then dropped this. So we'll just keep it for time being. Now, what is very important is, since the it is around 52, 53 rupees, what you should do is, the easier way to trade is, you can just keep, see this high to low is 16,977 and 843. In that 15 minutes itself, such a huge difference is there. So 16,977 plus 16,843 divided by 2, it comes to 16,910. So 16,910 the moment it starts to rally above the 10 ATRs. Now 10 ATR at that point of time was closer to the 80 points. 80 points. So it has to clear that 16,990 to 17,000 level, let us say. Then in that case, probably the dip can become a support level. Dip can become a support level. So the morning, usually the volatility will be very high. And if you look at it, the rally here, see 16,957. Okay, next 15 minutes, if you see, it opened, and then next rally was 16,957. Then look at this, 16,969. And once it started to cross this is the 16,977 level in the first 15 minutes. Then let's say now 16,000. Yeah, so we need a this place is 78 points. So 16,988 or so has to be crossed. So 16,978. So this has crossed. So at that point of time, probably any dip, you can just measure and see. Now it has gone above the 180 levels in this case. Okay, so now whether we will get some support at the 180 levels itself back is what we need to see. Now here, if you see, it is 16,980, approximately 17,000, and this time the market volatility has dropped by back to 54 points. So normally in a 15 minutes thing, the volatility is around 55 to 60 points, 55 to 60 points. So that means any rally normally will go up to 55 to 60 points and generally fall if the trend is to be maintained. So 55 60 points on a 17,000 will come to 16,945 or so. Okay, so this was cut 16,938. So this was a clear case where it got cut. This whatever happened here, this high to low. 17,010 or so, probably this could be 16,992, 17,023, approximately 17,010, and ATR was 54. So approximately 16,940, 945 it is cut. Then in that case, or 16,960 levels or 955, 960 levels cut. Then in that case, we should not be holding the long. We should not be holding the long. Again, if you see here, it dropped down and it came down to same 53 points. And here it's a 16,906, 942, average is 16,925 or so. So once it starts to cut 16,980 or so, okay, then probably we can look towards going long. 16,952, see here. So 16,970, 980 levels, you can look towards going long and keeping this low as a stop loss. This low as a stop loss. So probably you can choose your own ingenuity to do all these things, because let us say the same 10.3 ATR we had put, right? So now let's look at the 10.2 in 15 minutes. Okay, this is 10.2. So first support now will come for this at around 17,000. Okay, now let's look at the 10.1. So this is 10.1. So you can just see it went up, took resistance here. Once it started to cross, then in that case it fell back, and once again it started to cross this particular level, then we are going long. And here the 10.1 has taken support. 10.1 has taken support. So that means 17,148, 17,148 plus 17,092 divided by 2. 17,120. Okay, this is 17,120 and minus 55, 17,065. So the support should come closer to the 17,000 closest 17,096 in the same 15 minutes. So it came and took support closer to the 17,065 levels. On the close basis, it was above that. Okay, in the 15 minutes chart. So you can use like this probably the way to trade is that you can use a swing point which is above this. Probably this is a swing point which is 17,023. So once it started to cross 17,023, you could have gone long, keeping this point as a stop loss. So that's also you can do. So the super trend will help you to identify some important swing points. So the one which is swing point, depending on how comfortable you are in using in a longer time frame of 15 minutes or 1 hour, you can use 10.1's super trend itself and identify the swing points. So here we saw that the swing point is this particular place. So you could have gone long about this place, and probably we need to wait for a stop loss in this. Okay. Now here, if you look at it, all these points, whenever it started to fall, here we have got a resistance. Here it's all this. So very clear that no, today this particular point when it was broken, I think at least the short point should have been closed. The short point should have been closed, and we should wait for further confirmation regarding where we have to go short. So the super trend in a way helps you to identify important resistance and support based on the volatility of the market. Okay, so that important point we need to take into account, and also we need to know that how to use the super trend for trading in order to avoid choppiness. See, a lot of people generally think that once it is above a 10-3 super trend, then in that case you can go long or you can go short. So that's a very basic way of looking at it. But what is very important is we should identify some important swing points above and below the 10-3 or 10-1 super trend, and then probably we should trade. Now, if you look at the big chart here, now let us say this is a 15-minute chart. This is a 15-minute chart. In the 15-minute chart, ever since this cut this particular place, which is 17,039 or so, 17,039 or so, we are on the shorter side as far as the 15-minute chart is concerned, because this is the place where it identified this high, this low, and this high. Now, if you look at a shorter time frame, even 5-minute chart, 5-minute chart. This is this is a 5-minute chart, 10-3 super trend. So once this low was cut, which is the 17,270. So once the 17,270 low is cut, we are on the shorter side. So tomorrow, if it starts to go below 17,025, let us say it goes below 17,020-25, then in that case this will become a high. This will become a high. This is 17,148 will become a high. So we will wait for 17,148 to be broken to go on the long side again. So we should look at this market still from in a 5-minute chart. The important swing points that have been taken are this. That is because one swing point below the super trend, above this, below this, above this, below this, above this, below this, above this. So right now, if it cuts 17,025 or 27, then we will remain short in the market, keeping 17,145 or 150 as a stop loss. You can do the same thing even in a 1-minute chart, in fact. So today, the last trade that I can tell you is that there was a point from here, 16,906. It went up to 16,952, which is approximately a 46 point. Because if you see, this is 16,906 and this is 16,952, which is 46 points. So the moment it started going above this, then we are long in the market. And at this point of time, it looks as if this will be the stop loss, because it has gone above the super trend here. And so if it starts falling below 17,050, then in that case we will be out of the market. We will be out of the market here. So this way, the super trend will help you to identify the important support and resistance area, which could be also important swing points below the super trend and above the super trend. So we will use all those swing points later on Thursday, on Friday, and explain to you in various markets, which will carry forward, because this will be a very, very useful indicator to trade. Of course, there will be losses even in all those things, depending on which time frame that you are going to use. So we will identify the 5 minutes super trend in Nifty and tell you that it created a very good potential for you to make the profit if you can identify the important swing points of high and low based on the super trend. So we will carry forward this discussion on Friday. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you. So thanks for your participation today. Hope to see you again shortly.